unto us a child is born. Wow, it's the Christmas season. It's that wonderful time of year where all the kids want to wake up early in the morning and the parents want to sleep in. And holiday vacations have started, at least in the West. People are taking off work, and many of you may not even be going to work today. I'm not. Not officially going to work. I'll probably be working on my book and doing a lot of things at home. But the wonder of the snow falling in places, it's amazing that winter started this week. In some places, we've already had snow, and in some places, like the Sahara Desert, snow this week, like a Christmas miracle. But the greatest Christmas miracle, the greatest Christmas gift ever given, was prophesied thousands of years before it happened. I know those people who can pick up any box under the tree and hold it just right and shake it just right and squeeze it just right and measure the weight of it just right and without even taking the paper off, tell you exactly what's in the box. It's kind of creepy because when you give them Christmas presents, they already know what it is before they open it. It's kind of frustrating too, but thousands of years before the greatest gift was ever given, Isaiah told us it was going to happen. He said that there's going to be this gift. It's going to be amazing, absolutely amazing. It's going to change everything in the world when this gift arrives. And sure enough, it did. Split time right in half, BC and AD. It rattled the governments of the world. The Roman government couldn't handle this gift. The Jewish religion couldn't handle this gift. So many things were shaken to their foundation, shaken to the core over this one gift. But what a powerful promise was delivered in that gift. I know many times I've opened presents myself and with wonder said, how did you know that's what I wanted? You know, as an adult now, I'm reaching the point where a lot of times I'll actually buy my own gifts and give them to my wife to wrap, to put under the tree so I can have that festive moment too. But I know what the gift is. I just don't know when I'm going to get it, whether it's Christmas Eve or Christmas Day. And I have that anticipation because I know I bought it a while back and now I have to wait until Christmas Day like everybody else to get it. I also know that grandkids and the kids, when they rip the packages open and they're like, oh, you knew exactly what I wanted. That's so cool. But Isaiah said in chapter 9, I'm going to start in verse 2. He said, the people walked in darkness, but they have seen a great light. Those who dwelled in the land of the shadow of death, upon them a light has shined. You have multiplied the nations and increased its joy. They rejoiced for you according to the joy of the harvest, as men rejoice when they divide the spoil. For you have broken the yoke of his burden, and the staff of his shoulder, and the rod of his oppressor, as in the day of Midian. For every warrior's sandal from the noisy battle, and the garments rolled in blood, will be used for burning and fuel of fire. For unto us a child is born, and unto us a son is given, and the government will be upon his shoulders, and his name will be called Wonderful, Counselor, Mighty God, Everlasting Father, and Prince of Peace. And of the increase of his government and peace there will be no end, upon the throne of David and over this kingdom, to order it and to establish it with judgment and justice. From that time forward, even forever, the zeal of the Lord of hosts will perform this. I want to share that same passage with you from the Message because it has just a little different nuance. Again, the people, they walked in darkness, but they've seen a great light. For those who lived in the land of deep shadows, light, sunbursts of light. You repopulated the nations. You expanded its joy. Oh, they're so glad in your presence. Festival joy. The joy of great celebration, sharing rich gifts and warm greetings, the abuse of the oppressors and the cruelty of tyrants, all of their whips and their cudgels and curses is gone. It's done away with. A deliverance, a surprising and sudden as Gideon's old victory over Midian. The boots of all those invading troops, along with their skirts soaked with innocent blood, they'll be heaped in a pile and burned, a fire that will burn for days. For a child has been born unto us, the gift of a son for us. He will take over running the world. His name will be Amazing Counselor, Strong God, Eternal Father, Prince of Wholeness. His ruling authority will grow, and there will be no limits to the wholeness he brings. He will rule from the historic David throne over that promised kingdom. He will put his kingdom on a firm footing, and he will keep it going with fair dealing and right living, beginning now and lasting always. The zeal of the God of angel armies will do all this. It's an amazing thing as a child to open a Christmas present, and the passion and the fun and the joy that goes along with that, and it lasts about a week or so. And then we forget that we got this new Christmas present, and we're suddenly begging for something else new. We want a newer, better, bigger, better gift. More gifty gift, a more special gift, a newer, zingier gift. But the gift that God gave to the human population, yes, God gave. If you go to John 3:16, the most popular verse to talk about the conversion to Christendom, he says, "For God so loved the world that he gave." And what did he give us? He gave us his son. He gave us his only son. I would have a hard time doing that, giving up my son. But that's exactly what the Father did. Now, I want to remind you, too, that while many of us have visions of sugar plums dancing in our head, we have brothers and sisters around the world who are in persecution. Friends like my friend Joel Peter at Healing TV in Pakistan. They air this program there. And many Christians in Pakistan are still coming under heavy persecution. There are those in this world who are not loved because of their belief in Jesus Christ as Lord and Savior. Daniel George in Papua New Guinea, a good friend of mine is from Papua New Guinea, Kisa James. From all around the world, the gospel isn't welcome everywhere. But the Prince of Peace is coming back. He came once to establish his rule over death and hell. He set foot on this earth in the form of a baby, and he grew up in stature, recognized by both God and man as he grew. He did all the work of a rabbi. He did all the study of a rabbi, to be called a master and a teacher, to be known even by Allah as a prophet. And then he died on a cross, and he spent 3 days in hell to claim the victory that this verse speaks of, that his government would have no end, that there would be no way to stop him, to shut him down, to shut him up, or to shut him out. And when he walked out of hell after 3 days, carrying the keys to both death and hell in his hands, he set foot on the earth again in the form of a bodily resurrection. Over 500 witnesses saw him. When he walked out of the tomb, there was an earthquake, and dead arose with him. And there will be another great earthquake when the eastern sky is split, and this same Son who was given as a gift to humanity returns again. Only this time not as a baby coddled in a manger, not as a baby weak and hunted by Herod, not as a baby who has to grow in stature to be recognized by God and man, not as a baby who could be left behind at the age of 12 in the temple teaching, not as a man who could be framed and lied about and betrayed by Judas to be hung on a cross, not as a man who could be buried. No, this time he'll come back as king. This time he'll come back and the whole world will know. It'll be carved in his thigh. King of Kings, Lord of Lords. And the world will look up to this eastern sky splitting, to this white horse riding, to this nail hand scarred king with the sword coming out of his mouth that is the judgment of God. And the government will rest on his shoulders. And all of those who have been persecuted will be set free. And all of those who have died for his name will rise again. And all of those who have suffered under the hands of tyranny and injustice will receive the greatest Christmas gift they've ever received, regardless the season of his arrival. The greatest gift you've ever received is the freedom that comes in knowing that the King of Kings lives. And he's coming back. And when he opens the eastern sky like we open a present, the joy that beams from the face of a child with the perfect gift being received on Christmas Day will beam on the face of everyone who has called on the name of Jesus Christ. When he sets foot on the earth again, it will be to rule and to reign. And those who have been raised in new life with him will rule and reign with him for all eternity. Are you ready for Christmas Day? Are you ready for the return of the King? Are you ready for the greatest gift you've ever received to be opened into your hands, opened into your heart, opened into your mind, beyond your imagination, what God has in store for us? It's beyond our ability to even think or comprehend. We could never even ask for what he has for us. We don't get it. We don't know how wonderful that day will be. How awesome when the mighty God, the Prince of Peace, the wonderful Counselor returns. When there will be no more crying for those who've lost loved ones on holidays. There will be no more weeping. There will be no more sorrow. There will be no more sadness. There will be no more, I miss them, because we'll be with them in heaven. But until that day, there will be wars. There will be rumors of wars. There will be earthquakes in diverse places. There will be those who will run and say, I am the Christ. No, look at me, I am the Christ. No, I am the Christ. Oh, look over there, there's the Christ. But when he comes back, trust me, my friend, on his own word, there will be no mistaking him. And all of those who have risen up and said, I am the Christ, will bow down, because the word promises, when he returns, every knee will bow. And every tongue will confess, he is the Lord. There will be no question. During this season, for those around the world who are being persecuted, who are being imprisoned because of their faith, like Paul and Silas, for those who are being cut off from family, for those who have given their lives to travel around the world to speak the gospel of Jesus Christ, to teach the truth in love, may the peace of God that passes all understanding fill your soul. May the Spirit of God, who was with Paul and Silas in the prison cell, stand next to you, be alive in you. May he encamp around you with the angels of heaven and look after you. For those who have given their lives for the sake of the gospel, may peace be on your families. For those who are considering, should I really take a look at this Jesus thing? Or is it just a good excuse to go to church once a year? May the peace of God fill your heart with freedom over the things that hold you back, freedom over the bondages that have destroyed your life and your relationships and your hope and your finances. May the peace of God fill your soul and give rest to your mind. And may the God of the universe be the greatest gift you've ever received. During this Christmas holidays, I'll be here between Christmas and New Year, right here, at the same time. I hope you'll grab your coffee or your hot cocoa and get up early and spend some time with me. For those of you around the world, I know it's a different time of day than it is here in Texas. I bless you for the time that you spend with me. I wish you a Merry Christmas and a happy holiday, whatever holiday you're celebrating. Wherever you are in the world, may the peace of God be with you. May the gift of Jesus Christ be alive in you and for you. I am J Loren Norris, wishing you the most merriest Christmas you've ever had. And you've been watching Tell It Like It Is TV. Have a blessed day.